For the 8th play of Christmas, my favorite game gave me Mysterio and Nova, Waspy Tasky Master, Silly Pigs and Goblins, Storm and Sandman, Angry Wanda, Nebula and Drang, Rocket and Hood, and a mech and 8 scary minions.
Hello and welcome back to the 12 Plays of Christmas. My name is Josh, and in this episode of the 12 Plays, I'm going to be taking Nova in Justice up against Mysterio from the Sinister Motives campaign in Expert Mode, and our modular encounter set is going to be the Masters of Evil. If this is the first one of these that you've seen, I'm taking my 12 favorite heroes against my 12 favorite villains, and I'm also using a pool of my favorite modular encounter sets. So we've just had a lot of really fun games. I'm trying to play 12 in the month of December, and now that it is the day after Christmas and I have 5 to go, well, we'll just see what happens. Now, in this particular matchup, when I was trying to decide what kind of deck I wanted to build, it was a little tricky because this is the third Justice deck, and I've been trying to do a little bit of variety within my deck builds, and Justice doesn't really have a ton of archetypes. I've already done one way or another, and I've already done Shield, but that's pretty much it. But thankfully, this is one of those happy accidents where the hero and the villain create a pretty interesting matchup that I decided to take advantage of. And it all has to do with trying to build the biggest hand size I possibly can, because Nova has these cards in his deck, Connection to the Worldmind, that do not count against your hand size. So it's pretty easy for him to have 6 or even 7 cards if he's lucky in hero form. So that's a fun little theme he has. And since I'm facing off against Mysterio, he happens to have this card called Fool's Paradise. And what Fool's Paradise says is each identity gets +2 hand size. And that's awesome, but it also comes along with an acceleration, a hazard, and a crisis. So it's very risky to leave this in play for very long, but that +2 hand size is awfully fun. So I have teched this deck specifically against Mysterio, but not in like the normal smart way that you tech a deck against a villain, and that I have lots of ways to counteract what they're doing. No, quite the opposite. I have teched this deck to do exactly what Mysterio wants me to be doing, in that drawing lots of cards and having a large hand, and he has many effects that punish that. But the thing is, Nova's a video gamer. And so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be going for the high score and hand size. I'm going to see, and I'm going to keep track of it here, how high I can get his hand size, whatever the biggest one I can get over the course of the game. So, the highest will be at first will be 6 because of starting an alter ego. Mysterio, on the other hand, has accepted this challenge, and he is going to see what his high score is and how many encounter cards I'm going to have to reveal in any given turn. So we're going to start that at 0, but because Mysterio likes to shuffle cards into your player deck, and then when you encounter them, either by drawing or discarding them from your deck, you have to deal them to you as face-on encounter cards. So it's not uncommon when facing Mysterio to have 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 encounter cards. And I'm not going to be doing myself any favors by drawing so many cards that whatever he shuffles into my deck, I'm going to be seeing. Let me show you why. So we've got the 2 Connection to the Worldminds are going to increase my hand size. I've included 3 Assess the Situations. I like this card anyway. It just kind of moves a card from one hand into next turn's hand. I spend this to have an extra one next turn. But actually, when you have a really big hand size, it gives you a lot of options. So I do quite like this card. I am running the Symbiote suit because I absolutely love it with Nova, and I always take it with Nova. I just think it works so well with him. And then I have just 1 copy of One Way or Another. This isn't a One Way or Another deck, but I want to be able to go get Fool's Paradise and get it into play so I can get that +2 hand size. So I'm going to be using that. So I'm going to be really sad if we lose Fool's Paradise early to a boost effect. And because we're going to be having a Crisis side scheme in play for very likely multiple turns, I'm actually including Crisis Averted, which I never use in solo play, because it removes 6 threat from the main scheme, which is, pretty much overkill in solo usually. But it allows me to ignore the Crisis icon. So this way I can still remove threat if I need to from the main scheme if Fool's Paradise is in play. And along those same lines, I've brought the Wasp ally since I am playing a champion. I can use her, and her ability also allows us to ignore the Crisis icon. She can thwart for 2. And in order to keep her alive to help with that, I've included 3 copies of First Aid, another card I hardly ever play with. So you can see this deck is just kooky. This is very specifically teched to do one thing, to draw lots of cards, and I need Mysterio's help to do it. And then because I'm playing a champion, I get to use my favorite card, Moon Girl. And I'm also going to be including Wraith because there are a lot of really bad boost effects in Mysterio's encounter deck, and he's already going to be getting so many free encounter cards. I don't want him getting a lot of free boost effects too. So he's actually super useful, and is another good case for first aid because he takes the damage to use his ability, and I can use the first aids to keep him alive. Mockingbird just for a little bit of stun. And I do need to remember I'm playing a real game of Marvel Champions. That includes needing to be able to defeat minions and such, and the Masters of Evil are in that deck. So I've got 2 copies of Stealth Strike to help me deal with the Masters of Evil, along with Nova's normal attack cards. A Sonic Rifle, because it's nice to get to Alter Ego once in a while. Under Surveillance, just because it's a Justice deck in solo, it's such a good card. I love Champion's Mobile Bunker for the champions. Get to draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. Just very, very helpful. Especially, I'm going to have these massive hand sizes, hopefully. So I should be able to easily discard 2 cards I'm not planning on using to be able to draw 2 other cards I might be able to play. And then go for champions just because you got to use it. Basically a free turn where I get to ignore damage. And then I am including 2 Powers of Justice, which I don't really have enough expensive Justice cards to justify having 2 of these, but they are wild resources, and that is helpful for Nova. You really want to see a wild resource in your opening hand. And so this will help increase my chances of getting that. So even if I don't use these to help pay for expensive yellow cards, they still might prove useful. And the 3 doubles. So this is a really kooky way to try to play Mysterio on Expert. He's not the easiest villain in the world, but I just really want to try this whole see how high I can get my hand size. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And, you know, Nova's pretty strong, so I think even while trying to do a little bit of shenanigans, I should be able to still manage the board long enough to keep myself alive and see if we can go for the high score. All right, I'm going to get shuffled up, and we'll get started. One thing I'm noticing is these introductions seem to be getting longer and longer as the series goes on because I'm having so much fun talking about my favorite heroes and villains. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here at the beginning explaining Nova and Mysterio's mechanisms. I'll try to keep it a little bit more organic and just do it during the game so we can get right into the gameplay. Now, one thing I do need to do before I forget, Mysterio on Expert, he has a when revealed effect that says in player order, I need to shuffle the top card of the encounter deck, which I'll give one more quick shuffle on camera, into my deck. So he's going to be putting cards into my deck, and then, like I said, when I encounter them, they come into play, and just going to have a lot of encounter cards. So I will just take this and shuffle it in. And then the Shifting Apparition was put into play by the setup of the Scheme 1A. I need to not be looking at this while I shuffle, because I'm not supposed to know where that is. And done. Okay, I don't know where it is. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna draw my opening hand. Really would love to see, yes, a connection to the Worldmind. So I'm actually gonna get to draw 7 cards. 5, 6, and 7. And then basically I need a wild resource to go search for the helmet. And then if I pay for it with a wild, I get to put the helmet directly into play. And the helmet, the Supernova helmet, is a free resource every turn that readies whenever Nova does his basic activation. So it's just a super powerful, really handy way to start the game. You're going to have a resource on the table that you're probably going to be able to use at least twice a turn. So I don't need first aid this early in the game. I don't need Wasp now. I'm kind of sad to see her go, but I suspect I'm going to get through my deck pretty quickly if all goes according to plan. So it won't hurt to lose her. We'll just get her back later. Don't need Crisis Averted. I am going to play Unleash Nova Force. I'm only going to have 2 targets for it, but that's still going to be 2 readies and 2 card draws. That's totally worth the 1 cost it'll take to play that. I'm tempted to hold on to this for the villain phase, but I don't really like doing that with cards in my opening hand. And I'm going to use this on that. Yep, so I'm going to keep these, and I'm going to draw 4 more, and kind of hoping I don't see the helmet here. Mockingbird, Mobile Bunker, Pot Shot, and First Aid. Okay, so I've got 7 cards. So now to start the game, I'm going to use Sam's Alter Ego ability. I have to spend a resource, and if it's wild, which I'll use the connection to the Worldmind, I get to go get the helmet and put it into play for free. There it is. Not looking where the encounter card is. All right. And the helmet is, like I said, just a hero resource. I could exhaust it, generate a wild resource. Keep that handy. Now I do need to remember that is a hero resource. It's kind of easy to forget. I don't have any other reason to be in Alter Ego, so we're gonna flip up. So actually, our high score was 7. We've already had a 7 card hand size, so that's cool. Now, First thing we're going to do is exhaust the helmet for a resource to play Unleash Nova Force for the rest of the turn. Every time I defeat an enemy or remove the last threat from a scheme, I get to ready and draw a card. It's absolutely incredible. You know, that's obviously one of those cards that's much better in multiplayer because you'll have a lot more targets. And Nova can pretty much clear a whole board, readying and drawing cards all the livelong day. But even in solo, like I said, if you get a couple uses out of it, it's still totally worth it, and you can have some crazy turns with it, even in solo. So it's just very, very fun. Nova's going to attack to defeat the Shifting Apparition. He does have guard, and if he was defeated with excess damage, I would have to shovel the top card of the encounter deck into my deck. But I just pinged him for 1 because Nova does have low stats to sort of counteract his otherwise pretty powerful kit. And a couple things happen here. Because I use Nova's basic activation, that readies the helmet, that's his special power. And because of Unleash Nova Force, I get to ready Nova and draw a card to go for champions. Well, maybe that'll be my defense strategy for the round. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is simply attack Mysterio for 1 with Nova. He starts at 17, coming down to 16. Then I'll use the helmet to play Lightspeed Flight. Normally it costs 2, but if you use wild resources to pay for it, they are doubled, so it only actually costs 1, really, for Nova. And it lets me remove 3 threat from a scheme, take that off of the Maze of Mirrors. Thanks to Unleash Nova Force, that will ready Nova, and I will draw a card and do Force Field Projection. I'll just use Nova to attack Mysterio again, bringing him down to 15, which will ready the helmet. There is no limit to that. And I have no more targets for Unleash Nova Force, so that part's done. We're going to use the helmet and First Aid to get the Champion's Mobile Bunker into play. Absolutely love this card. Exhaust it if you're a champion. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Just so useful. We're going to go ahead and use that to draw 2, getting an Assess the Situation and Lightspeed Flight. Sort of hoping to draw into one way or another so I could get the Fool's Paradise out, draw 3 more cards, and just keep on rolling, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen this turn. Now I have to discard 2 cards from my hand. Well, we don't need to remove any more threat, so Lightspeed Flight can go. And I'm also going to discard Go for Champions because it's just kind of pricey for what little damage it's going to prevent this turn. And then I'm just going to use these 3 cards to play Mockingbird, give Mysterio a stun, and we'll attack him for 1 more. So he's down to 14. Felt like a really good first turn. Got a lot accomplished, I think. Did a little bit of damage. We've got some defense. We got the Mobile Bunker on the board. That's going to be super valuable for the rest of the game. And we still have some really good cards to draw into. So we're going to stand everything up. And I didn't get to play Assess, unfortunately. Needed it for the resource, but that's fine. That's kind of how I use that card. I like to include it, and I'm happy to use it as a resource if I need to, but if I'm able to save it till the end of the turn and then play it to get a bigger hand size next turn, that works out too. So I kind of almost view it as a resource card with a benefit. Now we're just going to draw 5. Another Unleash Nova Force. Oh, there's one way or another. Ms. Marvel, the Power of Justice, and Under Surveillance. This is looking like a very potentially awesome turn. We'll just have to see what the villain phase gives us, which shouldn't be too much because we're just putting 1 on the Maze of Mirrors. Mysterio is stunned. And so all we have is our encounter card, which is going to be another Shifting Apparition. That is easy enough to deal with. And more importantly, it gives us another target for Unleash the Nova Force. Speaking of which, we're just going to go ahead and play that immediately. We'll exhaust the helmet. Play Unleash Nova Force. Now we're going to use Nova to clear the 1 threat off the main scheme. That will ready the helmet because of Nova's ability, and then that will ready Nova and draw a card for Unleash Nova Force. Another Assess. I wanted to make sure I took that threat off the main scheme because I'm going to play one way or another to go get the Fool's Paradise side scheme. Very foolish strategy indeed. But I just think it'll be fun. I'm not trying to lose. If I do lose, I'm not that worried. Wait, where is it? Oh, it was that scared me. It was like stuck to the Shifting Apparition. So we got that. Yeah, I just think it's fun to do stuff like this once in a while. When you happen to have a matchup between the hero and the villain that provides an opportunity to do something different, I think it's awesome to take advantage of that. So, Fool's Paradise comes out with 6 threat on it. Now my hand size is increased by 2. which I'm going to put a couple tokens on my hero to remind me of that, or I will forget. And now I'm going to be getting an extra encounter card, which for Nova really isn't too bad because of the Unleash the Nova Force. I like having targets on the board. Now, unfortunately, we've already seen both of them. I'm in kind of a weird spot because I have the Champion's Mobile Bunker, but I don't really want to use it because I like what's in my hand. So I want to use the helmet before I use Nova, but I don't really have anything to spend the resource on unless I do the Mobile Bunker and try for some different cards, but I'm not going to do that. So it's not going to be as efficient as it could be. We're going to use Nova to defeat the Shifting Apparition. Since we didn't use excess damage, he doesn't shuffle a card into our deck. That readies Nova and draws us a card into Moon Girl. Okay. That might change some things about what I do. Yeah, I never pass up a chance to play Moon Girl, so that is going to change the trajectory of my turn. I'm going to use the helmet for a mental resource, assess the situation for mental, and the Power of Justice for a mental. So that's 3 mental resources to play the best card in the game, Moon Girl. After you play Moon Girl from your hand, draw a card for each mental resource used to pay for her. And you have to be a champion, a player, or a genius. So I get to draw 3 cards, Stealth Strike, Sonic Rifle, and another Power of Justice. Okay. Well, now I'm okay with using the Mobile Bunker because I have a card or 2 I don't mind discarding. Get Energy and Crisis Averted. Excellent. So I'll discard the Crisis Averted. Don't care about that. And we don't really care about Stealth Strike. It could be 4 damage to Mysterio, but it's not really what it's there for. Now I'm going to use Nova to hit Mysterio down to 13, which will ready the helmet. Going to use the helmet for 1 resource and energy to bring out Ms. Marvel because she's just so very awesome. Now when I play events, I can use her to bounce them back to my hand just like her hero form. Love that consistency in the game. And then I'm going to use the Power of Justice to put under surveillance on the main scheme. So now that we are under a crisis, we have a little bit more room. That can go up to 12, so I don't have to worry about the crisis as much or the acceleration. And I have a Sonic Rifle in my hand, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not a crucial part of my strategy. If I had Jesse Alexander in play and really wanted to go to Alter Ego, I would probably hold on to it to play it next turn, but I'm not that worried about it. And the only thing left to do is we're just going to attack Mysterio with Moon Girl and Mockingbird for 3 more damage down to 10. I could be thwarting away the Fool's Paradise, but I'm happy to leave it in play, at least for now. If things get a little dicey, I might have to try to get rid of it later. Got some blockers if we need them. And we are going to ready up. So I have +2 hand size because of that. So right now looking to draw 7, which will match my high score. Now I have to be careful because there is a Mysterio card in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, okay. So the main scheme tells us when you would draw or discard an encounter card from your deck, you deal it to yourself and then draw another card. So I'm still going to get all 7 of my cards, but I don't actually see what that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least I'm pretty sure you're not meant to see it before you deal it to yourself because it's when you would draw it. Okay, I was really hoping for the other connection to the Worldmind because that would have pushed my hand size up to 8, which would have increased my high score, but we didn't get that. Okay. So going to the villain phase, Maze of Mirrors gets 2 threat now because of the acceleration. We're going to get 3 encounter cards, which I haven't been updating Mysterio's high score. That's going to get up to 3, I think, this turn. He is attacking us for 2 plus a boost. I'm going to exhaust Mockingbird to defend. Now, I need to keep an eye on his boost cards because if they have the illusion trait, they get put on the bottom of my deck. So it's a way to add extra cards from the encounter deck into your deck. But the one sad thing about playing Mysterio with a different modular encounter set is he has many fewer illusions in his deck than he normally does because he typically has the Whispers of Paranoia modular encounter set. That's his recommended. And there are additional illusions in that. So Mysterio is actually one I don't often switch the modular out just because I do like him to have as many illusions as he can to help him do what he's trying to do. But I'm already helping him do what he's trying to do by drawing so many cards that I think in this case it's not going to hurt him too badly. So, but I do need to remember that when you look at his boost cards, keep an eye on if they are illusions or not. So we'll just see what his boost card is. And it is the Masters of Evil. That is not an illusion. So he's simply dealing 4 damage to Mockingbird. Knocks her out. And then we have our regular encounter card. And the one for the hazard. So we're resolving 3, which we are going to update him. And I will count Surge toward his high scores, however many we have to resolve in any given turn. So Right now his high score is going to be 3, but it might be higher. Gang Up. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Okay, so he's attacking me for 2 plus a boost again. You know what? I'm at 10 health. I think I'd rather just punch him with Moon Girl again than use her as a blocker. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take this hit. We'll see what happens. So 2, it's a 0 boost, but we have to reveal this, so that will count towards the... we're going to count that towards his high score. That'll be fun. So for this, I have to either take a damage or put a threat in the main scheme, and then this gets shuffled into my deck. Let's see, I'm only taking 2 from Mysterio, so we'll just go ahead and take 1 for the Deja Vu. So we're up to 7, but we're going to be seeing that card pretty much for the rest of the game now, hence the name. And so that was that. And oh yeah, that's what I wanted to update his high score. We're going to say that was 4 because we did reveal that. Evil Doppelgänger is coming into play, and this is one of the things that's going to punish me for my strategy is the more of my own cards I have in my hand, the Nova cards, she has higher stats. So I don't know how big she's going to be, but I'm glad she came out after the gang up because that could have been really bad. And, oh, and her obligation. This is less fun. So the helmet can't ready while that's in play. I'm going to have to go to Alter Ego in order to get rid of that. So not too excited about that. So Mysterio's high score is up to 4, and it is back to me. I forgot to shuffle the Deja Vu in. Not looking, but I'm pretty sure going to end up drawing all these cards anyway. So I don't know if it's going to matter much. Okay. So I have 4 Nova cards in my hand. So if Evil Doppelganger had attacked me, she'd have an attack of 5. Yikes. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to go down to Alter Ego. We're only going to get 1 use out of the helmet, which is unfortunate. Really need to kill the Doppelganger. We do have Ms. Marvel. That is going to help. Well, we'll start out by using the mobile bunker. Drawing 2. Oh, that comes out. So drawing 2. You always hate to see that on a card draw in the middle of the turn because it's not really going to boost my hand size any. Now I have to discard 2 cards. We're going to get rid of Stealth Strike and a Light Speed Flight because at least for now, not planning on removing any threat. We're going to keep that Fool's Paradise around. Now, there might be some turns where I chip away at it just to put it within reach of getting rid of it if I decide to, but for now, I'm just leaning hard into this. Now, we're going to use the helmet to play a pot shot to hit the Evil Doppelganger for 4. You guys don't know how hard I am finding it to say Doppelganger because I keep editing out. I'm really struggling with that word. So I'm putting 4 damage on her. I'm going to use Ms. Marvel to return that to my hand. She takes a damage. Going to use Nova to finish off the Doppelganger. That would normally ready the helmet, but since I have the weight of the world on my shoulders, that doesn't happen, unfortunately. I really want to play the symbiote suit, but going down into Alter Ego with the symbiote suit might not be the smartest thing in the world to do. We already know that this is a Deja Vu, so that's going to be probably a damage. I doubt I'll put a threat on. We can't confuse Mysterio, so actually, are we going to lose the scheme? It's going to go up by 2 automatically, so that's going to take it to 4, 5, 6, plus his boost. Now, we shouldn't lose the main, thanks to Under Surveillance, but we're not going to be able to hold on to it for too much longer. So if I do play the suit, that pretty much puts me in kill mode, which Nova kind of starts the game in kill mode, so that's fine. My high score is only 7, but it should get boosted this turn. All right, we're going to use a Connection to the Worldmind and Pot Shot to bring out Jesse Alexander. You can exhaust him to shuffle a Connection to the Worldmind from your discard pile back into your deck and draw a card. Since we're going to Alter Ego anyway, that will be nice. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to flip down. We're going to use Jesse. This is going to be nice because we're definitely going to draw this. We'll shuffle this back in. I just hope I don't draw immediately because I'd like it to be in my next hand. So I'm not looking. So do not want to cheat and float that to the top. Okay, so hopefully that's not what I draw. Yes, 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 yes. So that is still in there. And I think because we're about to reshuffle our deck, we're going to get our Unleash Nova forces back. We are going to pay 4 resources. We're going to bring out the symbiote suit, which is going to give us plus 10 health, take us up to 17. It's going to get us an extra encounter card this turn, which we already have 2. So it's going to be a crazy turn. But we will survive it, and then hopefully we can come back just really in full force. I am going to have to exhaust to get rid of Weight of the World, which is going to slow me down a bit, but we'll just see how it goes. Going to hold on to Moon Girl. I'm out of cards. We're just going to ready up. And now my hand size is up by 1 more, thanks to the suit. So I will be drawing 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. That will be my new high score, but I'm also going to have some connections to Worldmind, so could be getting something really good here. So we're going to be drawing 3. It's going to get me another encounter card. Whoop. So I'm at 17, he's at 10, and the main scheme is in imminent danger. So I don't want to push this too much longer. Pretty much just going to try to direct as much damage towards him from here on out as I can. Okay. So we drew 3, 4, 5, 6 would be our normal hand size. 2 more for Fool's Paradise, 7, 8. 1 more for the symbiote suit, 9. And then we have 1 connection to the Worldmind, which gets us to 10. So that's our new high score. With the assess the situations, we could push that up to, I think 14 would be the max. But I'd have to play all 3 of them and get both connection to the Worldminds. That'd be pretty tough. I will take a 10-card hand. Now I've got all the money in the world. I've got Go for Champions is going to be nice. What I don't really have is a ton of damage. I got 1 pot shot. So, and I'm going to have to exhaust. I have to remember that. Okay. Maze of Mirrors is going up by 2 because of the Fool's Paradise. So it's up to 4 of 12. Mysterio is scheming. I really hope this is a low boost card. It is low, but it is also an illusion. So this is going to go on the bottom of my deck. So it's a 1 boost. Goes on the bottom. So he's scheming for 3. So we are up to 7 of 12. That wasn't terrible. But now we're getting 1 more encounter card as normal. 1 for Fool's Paradise and 1 for the symbiote suit. So his high score is up to 5. And we're just going to go through these. So we're getting Deja Vu. Okay, we knew that was coming. So we're going to go ahead and take a damage because we have a lot of health now. And then that gets shuffled into our deck. So we have 2 cards in there. Not great, not great. I love this thing about Mysterio. It is a lot of shuffling, which I guess is kind of annoying. But just the idea, I'm not looking, is just really neat. You know, he's putting the cards in your deck and you're seeing all these crazy illusions. It's fun. Next card is Master Plan. So we're putting 4 threat on Fool's Paradise. That's actually totally fine. That was basically a free card because we weren't planning on getting rid of that anyway, and now we're pretty much definitely not getting rid of that. Oh, he's scheming again. I guess that's what happens when you get yourself 5 encounter cards. So scheming for 2. Oh, we lose long shot, but at least it was a low boost. So we're up to 9 of 12, still hanging on to the main scheme for 1 more turn. I would just like to not lose it this turn, I guess. Tiger Shark's coming out. Don't mind seeing him, I guess. And this will surge, which will increase his... That sort of artificially increases. No, that one doesn't count. It didn't actually do anything. We're not going to count that towards his high score. Into Fearmonger. This will do something, though. Oh, discard your hand. Drop to your hand size. No. No, 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 no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This was going to be such a good hand. Oh, that is a killer. That was a killer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we have 2 more encounter cards. What are we doing with our lives? And a surge, which that one will count. Oh my goodness. 3 more cards still. Masterful Mirage, this goes on him, and then when I would damage him, I discard cards instead, and it increases his scheme. Another Deja Vu, we're just going to take another damage, so down to 15. I didn't even look at the cards in my hand, I hope they're good. And that's going to get shuffled in, but I'm going to wait before I shuffle just to see if I shuffle anything else. And no, so this is going to get attached to our identity, and I can't resolve triggered abilities on my hero's printed text, and I have to discard an identity-specific card at random from my hand to discard this card. Well, the good news is I'm already in Alter Ego, and we definitely need to get rid of that, or I won't be able to use my special power for the helmet. Whew, that was not good, y'all. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and shuffle in Deja Vu. Holy cow, that was a crazy, crazy villain phase. I have no one to blame but myself. Okay, well, let's see what we did end up with. Oh, I'm stupid. I should have checked because I was drawing up to my hand size, so I should have one more card. Yes, so it's fine. We shuffled, and now that's in there, but it's fine. Should have had one more card. I should have looked at these. That was foolish. Please tell me I have my other... Oh, I lost Unleash Nova Force, and I didn't draw my other one. That really, really hurts. Okay, well, I definitely need to get rid of all these Alter Ego actions, so we're going to exhaust Sam to get rid of this. Oh, that gets removed. Now I have to discard an identity-specific card to get rid of that. I have quite a few options here. So here's all my identity-specific cards are in my hand, and we have to discard one at random to get rid of the Induced Panic. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not even going to be able to ready Nova. So I'm not going to be able to use the helmet anyway. Oh, this is not going to be good. I'll still get rid of it, though. It's going to be annoying eventually, if the game lasts long enough for it to be annoying. Losing, okay, as a defense card, that's fine. If I could have picked one to lose, it would have been that. And we're going to use Jesse to shuffle in Connection and draw a card. So that's nice, at least. Not looking... Okay, drawing into... I was really hoping for Unleash Nova Force. All right, we still have the mobile bunker, though, so that's going to help us. So flipping up, we are exhausted, which is just the worst because we have the symbiote suit, so we really like to make good use of our stats, and we're just not going to be doing that this turn. Definitely don't need the 3 first aids in my hand. Goodness. Okay, well, that's what mobile bunker's for, right? We're going to draw 2 more. Assess, come on, Unleash Nova Force. I know you're in here somewhere. No, and we know what's coming next. Okay. Well, got to discard 2 cards. Don't think I'm going to be playing the Lightspeed Flights. So we'll get rid of that. And I've got 2 Crisis Averted, so we'll get rid of that. So I'm only going to get 1 use of my helmet. I do have to assess the situation, so I can at least boost my hand size if I don't end up needing them for resources. I got Tiger Shark to deal with. Oh, I got rid of this. That should be gone. All right, well, we're going to try to hold on to the main scheme. So we're going to use the helmet and a Power of Justice for 3 resources. To play Crisis Averted, I get to remove 6 from the main, ignoring a crisis. So that brings that back down to 3. That's pretty cool. That might be the first time I've ever played that card. We're going to use a Force Field Projection to play First Aid to heal Moon Girl for 2. But then she's just going to hit Tiger Shark for 2, so she'll just take her 2 right back. And then we're going to use this Wild Resource to Pot Shot Tiger Shark for 4, which will take him out. And then we're going to use Ms. Marvel to return it to my hand. She takes a damage for using her ability. We're going to use a First Aid to play a First Aid to heal Ms. Marvel, because we would like to keep her around. Yeah, we're just trying to survive that horrible, horrible turn, clean up the board as much as we can, and then hopefully come back a little bit stronger next turn, I think. We're going to use Assess the Situation and a Pot Shot to get Wasp out, and then we're going to play another Assess to get our hand size up by 1 more. Wasp is going to attack for 1 to get rid of this. When you deal any amount of damage to him, I discard the top 4 cards of my deck instead, which is going to get me that. And then I get to draw a card when that gets discarded into Lightspeed Flight. Well, that'll probably just get discarded. And then I lose. So that was the first card I discarded. And I'm discarding Lightspeed Flight, Connection to the Worldmind, and Unleash Nova Force. Oh, man. Brutal. Brutal. But we had to get rid of that. We're not going to hold on to this because now I just kind of want to get through my deck again. 3, 4. I definitely will be. And just get all my good cards back. Wow, this is to play the symbiote suit and then to be completely immobilized. That was rough. But we're not in terrible shape. And this is a heck of a game. I'm loving how this is playing out. Really letting Mysterio do everything he wants to do. Really helping him to do it. All the while drawing a massive amount of cards, which is crazy fun. So, hand size. 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 1 for Assess makes 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add an encounter card. Oh, I can actually look now. There's no orange ones left. That's nice. Should be looking because now I might be drawing Connection to the Worldmind. Yes. So that's actually going to take me up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, yes, 10. Okay, so we got Unleash and a ton of resources, so I don't know how much we're going to do. We'll see. Maze of Mirrors is going up to 5 of 12. We're going to have a ton of encounter cards again. Mysterio's attacking. We're just going to go ahead and let Moon Girl hit this. I kind of wish I'd gotten her back into the shuffle last time, but I'll just... I have 15 health. Yeah, I guess I feel like the symbiote suit, that's the point, right? I don't really need to block. So yeah, I'll just take it. So 2, 3, and this is an illusion. So even though he doesn't have as many in his deck, that is firing. So that's pretty cool. So I take 3 down to 12. And then I get my normal encounter card and Fool's Paradise and symbiote suit. If I don't lose my Unleash Nova Force this time, we might have a really fun turn ahead of us, but we shall see. Well, we know the Deja Vu is coming. We'll take a damage down to 11. Maybe I should start putting threat on because I don't know if I care as much about that, but that's what we're doing. Well, there's that. Oh, Deja Vu is going to get shuffled in, but again, I'm going to wait in case I have to shuffle more. So he's scheming for 2, 3, 4. Takes that up to 9 of 12. Under fire, we're getting 2. Oh, I did not keep track. That was 2, 3, 4, 5. And under fire is going to take us to 7. Got to keep track for his high score. So we're going to get 2 more encounter cards. We reveal the top card and Surge. So we're getting the Weakness from Within side scheme. This is going to have 1,000,000 threat on it. It's 1 + 1 for every card in our hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is going to have 11 threat, and it's a hazard. Remember, I did this to myself knowingly. I wasn't just stupid. So that is that card, and then we're getting the Melter. That's all right. I kind of want stuff to blow up. We'll set him right here. We're getting Deepest Fears. This is discard cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards in your hand. If at least one at any specific card is discarded this way, place 1 threat in the main scheme. Well, that's going to happen. So we're discarding, what we say it was, 10? Yeah, we're discarding 10 cards, but, so we discard that, which is going to let me draw a card, because of that's how the main scheme works. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And there was at least 1 identity specific, so that is going to add a threat, so that's up to 10 of 12. And we get the Masters of Mayhem, which is going to make Melter attack me. And his ability is I have to defend with an ally, so I'll just defend with Moon Girl, which is totally fine. So I think, oh, and we still have this card. So I think this is going to take him up to, I did not do a good job of keeping track. I think that's going to take me up to 9 encounter cards for his high score. If I'm wrong, I'll try to keep track of it in the editing, and I'll put it on the screen if it should be higher. But I think this puts me to 9, which we get our Deja Vu back, which, duh, I actually knew that. So we'll take another damage, down to 10. Oh, that should not have been on top. Okay, yeah, I should have shuffled it in. That's right, I'm remembering that. Well, I could have shuffled it to the top, so not that big of a deal. But yeah, I should have shuffled that in first, last time. Okay, well, not that big of a deal. Okay, so we've got side schemes I can't really get rid of. We've only got 1 minion to blow up for Unleash Nova Force. I don't have any threat removal in my hand, so even if I wanted to try to take out the side schemes, not even an option. Well, we're definitely unleashing, so we'll just go ahead and play that first. And then we're definitely going to take out Melter. One way or another is going to let us draw some cards, but I don't know if there's any more, because these are the 2 that you're going to get with Mysterio. And then I think there's 2, I think there's only 1 Masters of Evil. Yeah, I don't think there are any side schemes. I'm pretty sure there aren't any side schemes left, so I guess I'm not playing one way or another. That's unfortunate. Well, let's go ahead and use the bunker then. We'll get rid of one way. If I'm wrong and there's a side scheme, I will be sad, but I don't think there is. Oh, actually, I draw first, and then I'll discard. A Genius? Oh gosh, I have so many resources, and Lightspeed Flight. Okay. If I had any hope of actually taking all the threat off of one of those side schemes just for the Unleash Nova Force, I would go for it, but I have 1 Lightspeed Flight. I could bounce it with Ms. Marvel, so that's 6 threat removal. Nova for 7, 8. That is so much work. Wasp for 9, 10. I could remove one to draw a card and ready once, but that is so much effort. It will save me an encounter card, though. But I think I'm just going to try to survive and go all in on damage. So, we're going to get rid of Lightspeed Flight. Who cares about threat? Though I should take a little bit off just so I don't lose the main scheme in step 1. Probably will do that, actually. And then I definitely have way more resources than I need, but you hate to discard resources. Yeah, I'll just discard one way because I'm not going to play it anyway. Okay. Now, we are going to attack Melter for 2 with Nova, which will ready the helmet. Then Melter has 2 damage on him. We're just going to use the helmet to play a pot shot, hitting him for 4, which will knock him out. I'm going to use Ms. Marvel to return it to my hand. And then unleash. Pot shot comes back to my hand. Sorry, there's a lot going on. Unleash readies me and draws me a card. Oh, another Unleash. That's not helpful. Also, I don't have that anymore. Okay. And unfortunately, that is all I'm going to get out of Unleash Nova Force. I really would have loved some targets I can actually deal with instead of giant side schemes that I have no hope of removing all the threat. We're going to go ahead and use Nova to put 2 more damage on Mysterio. We really got to get moving here. Which will ready the helmet. Then we'll use the helmet to pot shot him for 4 more. Down to 4. All right, this is going to be kind of cool. We're going to use a double for yellow and just the other one of these because I don't have any more yellow cards in my hand to hit Mysterio for 4 with a stealth strike, and that will defeat him, so that will count for the Unleash Nova Force. And also, since it defeats him, lets me remove 2 threat from a scheme. So let's do this in order. So we're going to hit him for 4. So he's defeated. He flips over. He is going to discard the top 5 cards of my deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I draw a card? 5. Okay. I drew Crisis Averted. Okay, maybe we can save the main. That's kind of cool. And then that was... So we defeated him. We're going to remove 2 threat from a scheme. We can't take it off of here because there's a crisis. If anything, I will try to remove this weakness from within just because I still want to keep the Fool's Paradise in play. Having too much fun with that. And then I get to ready and draw a card because I defeated an enemy. Hopefully, I think I remember to do everything. Lightspeed Flight. This is a crazy turn. Just trying to keep track of everything. Got my extra encounter card. Hopefully I haven't missed anything too crucial. So now there's 10 on the main. I could remove 2 with Wasp and 6 with Crisis Averted. I still can't quite clear it for the purposes of Unleash the Nova Force. And Crisis Averted doesn't work on side schemes. So I guess that still isn't going to be a thing. And I'm pretty much out of damage in my hand. Oh, and Mysterio goes up to 16 on a stage 3, which is super low. It's kind of weird that he only has 16 health in stage 3, but we don't want to lose the main scheme in step 1, so we're going to take 2 off with Wasp. And I'll probably end up playing a Crisis Averted too, just because I got nothing else to do. We'll have Nova hit Mysterio for 2 more, down to 4. His stats are boosted because of the symbiote suit. In case I forgot to mention that. And we're just going to use 2 double resources to play Crisis Averted on the main scheme, bringing it from 8 down to 2. Might as well try not to lose it, I suppose. We're going to play and assess just to boost our hand size. When I attacked Mysterio, that would have readied the helmet. I almost forgot about that. So then we'll use the helmet to play a first aid on myself. Might as well. I think I'm just going to use Wasp as a blocker, so I'm not going to bother to heal her. So that's got me up to 12. I'm going to go ahead and first aid myself again. Up to 14. And then I'm going to hold on to Unleash Nova Force and Connection to the Worldmind for next turn. We only have to do 14 damage, and that could really put us in a good spot because we're going to have a lot of encounter cards, I think. So, I think I did everything I can. Hopefully I didn't miss too much stuff. Or, well, hopefully I didn't miss any. So I'm holding on to 2. My hand size is 5, 6, 7, 8, plus I played an assess 9, plus I have Connection to the Worldmind, so 10. So 1, 2, 3. That comes out. I get another one for running out. Plus I'm going to get 3, 4 in the villain phase. I think if we survive this turn, we win, though. We only have to do 14 damage. I got Ms. Marvel. I can bounce a pot shot. Gonna have the Unleash. So again, it's so I'm looking at a hand size of 10. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if I get my other connection, no, I didn't get it. I was gonna say, I think my high score is currently 10. So if I could have gotten a connection, would have been up to 11. But still, drawing all these 10, 9, 10 hand sizes has been awfully fun. Yeah, we just got to survive this, and we should easily be able to do 14 damage, right? That shouldn't be too hard for Nova. So, but let's find out. So we're putting 2 on the main. It's up to 4 of 12. Mysterio's attacking. We're not taking any chances. Wasp is just going to block because she can only do 1 damage for us anyway. Now, if we end up being 1 damage short, you know what? No, hold on. I just healed myself for 4. Yeah, let's just go ahead and take this. Let's go ahead and take this. We might need Wasp's damage. I've got all the health in the world. I might as well use it. So he's attacking me for 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's fine. Just healed for 4. No big deal. Down to 10. My heart's racing. I'm like, I really want to win this game. This has been a nutso game, and I want to win it. So that was that. That wasn't an illusion. And now that he's in stage 3, if it was, it would actually go on top of my deck, guaranteeing that I would be getting it soon. And now, so I have already these 3 for reasons I'm hoping are correct, because that seems like a lot, but there were a lot in my deck, plus I ran out. Yeah, that makes sense. So then I get my normal one, my symbiote suit one, Fool's Paradise, weakness from within. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7. His high score is 9, I think. Okay, starting off. So Deja Vu. Gonna do the threat now, because we're basically gonna try to win this turn. And I'm just gonna go ahead and shuffle this in so I don't forget to do it again. So I kind of screwed that up earlier. Okay. So that was that. Shifting Apparition comes out. We are totally fine with that. Whirlwind comes out. We're totally fine with that. Fearmonger. Oh, no. Discard my hand. Dropped my hand size. There goes Unleash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is awful. And that we're just going to... So that's going to get him up to 8. I'm going to try to keep track. I'm losing 10 cards. I'm drawing 10 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got Unleash. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not seeing any damage. 8, pot shot. 9, pot shot. 10. Oh, okay. Okay. So we drew these 10. We got 2 pot shots. I think we're still okay for now. But that surges into, he gets this thing that we're not going to care about. It gives him a huge attack, and we could get rid of it if we wanted to. Another Deja Vu. We're just going to put damage. Shuffle it in. Looks like he's going to attack us again with his massive attack. We're just going to throw a Wasp in front of that, probably, because I'm at 10, and he's attacking for 5 now. We know Gang Up's not in the deck, so that's good. But yeah. Yeah, we're just going to throw a Wasp in front of this one. Not going to do anything crazy. So she's blocking. So it's 5 plus nothing. Takes out Wasp. And then he gets his Masterful Mirage, which is annoying. That's going to prevent some of my damage. That actually, just that last card right there. Now I wish I had taken that hit to the face, because I could have used Wasp to get rid of it. I don't really have an easy way to just deal 1 damage, so he's going to reduce... Oh, stupid Masterful Mirage. Okay, we only have to do 14, right? It really can't be that hard. We're going to be able to do this. Also, I forgot I had a Force Field Projection in my hand. I could have just used that instead of blocking with Wasp, and that would have dealt 3 damage. Oh, there's just so much going on. I forgot to even care about what was in my hand. Well, okay. We got Champion's Mobile Bunker. We're definitely going to do that first. So we're drawing this, but it gets dealt to me, so I get to draw. Moon Girl. Oh, nice. And a connection. Well, okay. And I have to discard 2 cards. Well, we don't care about Force Field Projection. And we don't care about one way or another, because I don't think there's Sight Scheme. So we need to do... It's like, we gotta kill this guy. And we need to do a little bit of damage to him. And then His gate is down. So how are we going to do? Well, we're going to play Unleash for sure. So we'll play that. So now that's active. We're going to use Nova to defeat the Shifting Apparition. Because we used excess damage, we have to shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into our deck. So yeah, if we don't win this turn, I think we're going to have way too many counter cards. Okay, shuffle that in. At least the one's not on top anymore. So because we used Nova, we ready the helmet, and because of Unleash Nova Force, we get to ready and draw a card. Go for champions. Well, okay, if we don't win, that'll save us. And next, if I blow up Whirlwind, I'll get to ready and draw another card. But really, I just want to try to focus everything on Mysterio. I still don't have a convenient way to only deal 1 damage, which would be ideal. We're going to use the helmet for 1, mental resource, assess for another, and first aid for another, because you know who's coming out. Moon Girl for the 2nd time, and I get to draw 3 cards. Stealth Strike, oh, there's some damage. That helped a lot. And Sonic Rifle, that's not damage. And Lightspeed Flight, okay, but I think maybe that Stealth Strike might have been what we needed to go over the top. So we're going to use Moon Girl to ping this Masterful Mirage. He doesn't take damage. She does, though. She takes 2. And then I lose 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Got some encounter cards coming up. But now there's nothing stopping him from taking damage. So let's just go for it and see what happens. So Nova's going to attack for 2. Bring him down to 12. That's going to ready the helmet. We're going to use the helmet. Yeah, we got this. Play Pot Shot. Hits him for 4. Oh, yeah, down to 8. Oh, yeah. Ms. Marvel is going to return the Pot Shot to her hand. She takes a damage. Just going to leave that right there. We're going to use a connection to the Worldmind. Another Pot Shot brings him down to 4. And then go for champions for a wild for another Pot Shot. Brings him down to 0. Oh, that was awesome. This might have been my favorite play. You know, and that happens often when I play Nova. Last time I played Nova with a 3-card stud deck, I actually titled that video one of the most fun games of Champions I've ever played. Because Nova is just, he is a fun generator. And this was no exception. He just lets you build crazy decks because of his economy. And again, this one, sure, it worked out specifically because of the Fool's Paradise. But hey, I paid for that. I took a lot of extra encounter cards. It was a ton of work to manage the main scheme, but I still managed to not lose it. That's awesome. Had this in play from the 2nd turn, and I still was able to keep the Maze of Mirrors on stage 1B. That was amazing. I got to play Moon Girl twice. If we hadn't defeated him, my high score never got above 10. I was really hoping to get that to at least 11 or 12, but that's okay. If we hadn't defeated him, would have had, you know, these 2 more encounter cards, plus another one for running out of our deck, plus 4 more. So we would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 1 more, would have been 8 at least, plus all the, yeah, so much damage. Shadows would have finally come out, yeah. I think if we hadn't won that turn, we would have really started to be in a big hole. But Unleash Nova Force, this card is so ridiculous. Like I said, even in solo, like, oh, just sticking around right there. Like, this just makes it, you can just get out of any hole. Like, it almost doesn't matter how far behind you get. When you have this in your hand, you can just clean everything up. Now you have to have enough damage and threat. You know, Nova stats are low without the symbiote suit. But he just always seems to make it work. He's just incredible. He is such a blast. I love Nova. I love the champions. I love that the whole Sinister Motives wave. I don't want to spoil anything, but we've already played SPDR. We've now played Nova. I mentioned in the solo hero rankings that Miles Morales, who really should have been in the top 12, he's not in because I had plans for him for a different video. But yeah, just that whole wave's incredible, and there's another hero in that wave we might be seeing sooner rather than later. And you know my feelings on Ghost Spider, so she's probably not in that box. But just what an incredible series of heroes. What a fun game. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm just rambling now because I'm like coming out of just the incredible fun that game provided. So much crazy stuff. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up. You know, we actually didn't have that much damage left. Stealth. Okay, I said I'm going to wrap it up. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And we're going to see what's next. All right, I'll be right back. All right, and now we will see what we have for future fun. I just continue to enjoy doing the villain first. So we're going to do that, and going to grab this one. And who's it going to be? Only 4 left. 4 left in about 6 days. I did say I wanted to get them all done in December. So we are looking at Ultron. What a classic. The best villain in the core set, and still one of the best villains in the game, in my opinion. You know, similar to how Mysterio just enabled a particularly fun strategy because of his one-side scheme, Ultron just enables fun strategies. You know, he's just guaranteed to have a ton of minions, so he really makes certain heroes like Thor and Valkyrie work when maybe they don't work as well against most villains. So he's nice for that, and you just do a lot of really fun things with him. But he's also pretty tough, especially an expert. So we'll see who he's paired with. But yeah, I never get tired of Ultron. He's so much fun. And oh, temporal. Get some Kang action in here. This is the easiest one that came with Kang, but I just really think it's fun, mainly because the Tyrannosaurus Rex is so cool. But it is a fun set. It's kind of a light to medium difficulty. It's not too bad. A lot of small minions, which is fun. And that's going to be interesting because Ultron, similar to how Taskmaster normally has a villain mod set, that's what he has too, though under fire, and instead he's going to get a whole whack of minions. So we saw what happened with Taskmaster. Did not go well for me whatsoever. So hopefully whoever I get this time can handle an absolute minion swarm. We'll just go with this one. Who is it going to be? Oh, yes. The champions continue. Ms. Marvel, the original champion, in the game at least. So fun. I don't know how good she is at managing a minion swarm, though. She's super good at managing threat. So depending on the aspect here, I don't know how many minions I can take out with morphogenetics, but we will find out. Okay, well, that is going to help. Got aggression, and this time is with somebody I don't mind playing aggression with. I didn't love aggression with Wasp. That's definitely not how I would have chosen to play her. But I knew the aggression ones were going to be iffy because I don't really play aggression in solo anyway, so it's very rare for me to even play with these. So I knew the potential for the 3 aggression games was going to be rough. And it has been, because I've played 3 aggression games so far, because I played twice with Wasp and once with Scarlet Witch, and I've lost all 3 of them. So I'm over 3 with aggression. Will Ms. Marvel finally get a win against Ultron with temporal? I don't. It sounds like a tall order. But we are going to give it a go. I have a really fun Ms. Marvel deck in aggression already, so I'm just going to play that. I was going to feature it on my channel at some point anyway, and I just never got around to it. So that part's already done. That's nice. So I'm excited to play it. I'm excited that you're joining me for these. I just continue to be so grateful. And it's going to be a fun week, so I'm going to try to put out one of these every day. So I look forward to seeing you next time we get up in game. Take care, folks. Bye-bye. Evil Doppelgänger. It's crazy. To hit the Evil Doppelgänger.